Welcome to Dodgers Down on the Farm. So glad that you decided to tune in. Hey, we're going to talk about all the action in the Dodgers system at the minor league level last night. And we're going to start, as we do each and every show, with Single A Rancho Cucamonga. And who you're seeing here is SeanMcLain, who is having quite a week. Hey, we told you a couple weeks ago, the younger brother of Matt McLain, who's in the major leagues, that he's taken some of the best swings that he has taken since he's become a pro. Looked like he was getting ready to break out, and boy, has he done that. 3 hits last night. He also hit home run number 3 right there. Wow, that was impressive. Over 400 feet. So this is a guy, glove first, no doubt about it. Shortstop type guy that's been playing first base, but very good with the glove. Defense first guy in the sense that he's probably more advanced on the defensive side of the ball. But having a great week, 3 hits last night, home run number 3. He also had 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. He has 5 games in a row, or 5 hits in 5 games in a row, I should say. That's every game in this series with Stockton. He has back-to-back 3-hit games. He's 6 for his last 10, and he's 13 for his last 21. Not surprised. Like I said, he's been showing this for a while. SeanMcLain, very talented young man. One thing hitters hear a lot, you're seeing Jose Meza here, that you hear hitting instructors say all the time, hey, stay connected. Keep everything connected. Well, what does that actually mean? So what I want you to see here is see how he turns that barrel first. A lot of young hitters, the biggest mistake they make is their first movement is to push the hands forward. And that is not a good deal. You're going to end up lunging at that point. But instead, your first move actually needs to be to turn the barrel. See how he's turning that barrel first? That's getting him ahead of the count. And when you're facing 96 to 100, if you're not turning that barrel first, you're going to be in trouble because you're just going to have a long swing and it's not going to get to the ball in time. So first of all, I want you to notice how he turns that barrel first. That's his first movement. Now from here, after heel strike, see, here's another part of the connection. Watch his front heel strike, and as his front heel strikes, watch his back heel come up. It's like in perfect sync. Heel strike, watch the front heel, the strike, back heel up. Absolutely perfectly in sync. Somebody has probably taught him that. That's a drill you do quite a bit. That front heel strike, back heel comes up at the exact same time. That creates a tempo and timing to your swing that allows you to have rhythm and be able to be on time to the ball. Now from here, what I want you to watch the hands, the hips, and the back knee, and then the back ankle as it comes up and makes his power L. Watch how perfectly in sync all this moves together. Watch these movements. See how perfectly in sync all those movements are from Jose Meza. And that's why, even though he's a little bit fooled, and that's a really nice pitch on the outer half, he's still able to get good wood on it because everything is in sync and connected so well for Jose Meza. And you go, wow, that's a pitch on the outer half that he kind of looked fooled, and look where this ball ends. That's how much power he has off the top of the wall, even on that pitch, and it's because he stays so well connected. Jose Meza, that's why I love this young man's swing. That's why I think he has a world of potential for all of those reasons, and that's why we're covering him today on Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. Going to move our way up to the high A Great Lakes level, and no doubt about it, the highlight of the day was PatrickCopen. Now, what I want you to notice here is watch how easy this power is for him. It looks like he's not even trying to throw that ball. It just kind of looks like he's about maybe 75, 80% on that throw. That's 96, ladies and gentlemen. Look how easy he's able to create 96 right there. And probably the reason for that is, hey, the command comes and goes like it does with all these young guys that are just getting in the system. And so, to be honest with you, I've talked about many different times, this is a Rolodex type of guy. He has that kind of stuff and that kind of ability with that type of slider you see off of that fastball. And probably why it's looking like it's 75, 80% effort, although it's 96, is because he's just trying to be smooth and he's just trying to be free with his throw to make sure he's more consistent with both his control and command. So as he gains more confidence and gets even more confidence with his command and with his control, there you can see he kind of let that one rip a little bit because he was up in the count. As he gets comfortable with that and more confident, he is going to release that ball a little bit more violently. And instead of being 96, I really think it's going to be consistently Dustin May type stuff. That's who he reminds me of whenever I see him pitch. He kind of has that Dustin May look to him as far as just the easy power, and it seems like it's kind of slingshots out of his hand, although it is easy power. I think he could end up being around 100 miles an hour for all the reasons that I just gave, with that nice slider that you've seen already. So, hey, the determining factor as to how fast this guy becomes a true Rolodex guy is going to be how fast he masters his command inside the strike zone, and then also his control as far as actually just getting the ball to be a strike. It's all up to him, and it's all in front of him, because if he does become totally consistent with both of those, he is definitely a front of the Rolodex guy that will sprint his way to the major leagues. That's how explosive and how much potential the stuff of PatrickCopen has. So we'll keep checking in with the young man who came to the Dodgers from Marshall University. So moving up now to the AA level, and this is CarlosDuran, and man, 4 1/3 innings last night. That's a big deal. We've talked about many different times. The Dodgers love that quasi 6-man rotation. And hey, in the past, they've tried to limit the amount of innings of all their young guys. They've limited the amount of innings of certain guys on the major league roster, and they still lead the league in IL. So whatever they're doing has not worked in terms of trying to keep their pitchers healthy. So in my opinion, and I will talk to somebody about this in the offseason, not going to bug them about it here in the middle of the season because they're too busy and they wouldn't want to talk about it anyways. But in my opinion, they have instead tried something new, and that is to go longer lengths while you're on the mound after you're already warmed up and got everything done. More rest in between outings. We'll see how that works. And I think you can show proof even more so with a guy like CarlosDuran, who is coming off of Tommy John. Those are some nice sliders you're seeing here off of that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Because if you're already stretching a guy out to 4 1/3 innings, that's coming off of Tommy John surgery. I talked to, Lucas Wepp, and I've talked to Edgardo Enriquez. Logan Boyer actually is the one I'm thinking about, who's off of Tommy John as well. Edgardo Enriquez is coming off of Tommy John. But if you're stretching a guy already just in his second AA appearance to 4 1/3 innings, who's coming off of Tommy John, that tells me you are placing an emphasis on length. And I think that 6-inning mark is where they're trying to get all their minor league pitchers. I think we've seen that up and down the system, and it is just absolutely great to see Duran go 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and his ERA is down to 2.35. He's given up just 3 earned runs in his last 5 outings, thanks in part to that big slider and the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Tall drink of water, and those 5 outings span 13.2 innings. So one of the questions I get asked the most, and definitely the question I get asked the most about Alex Freeland that you're seeing here, is what's the reason for the breakout this year? Hey, he's always been talented. He's always had power potential. He stole 31 bases last year. So really, to somebody who's been paying attention and following him, yes, he's had more holes in his game in the past, but it's not really a breakout because he's always had the top-end potential and always top-end production whenever things go right. The difference is what you're seeing here. If you want to know the difference between as far as the production this year and in the years past, here it is. Against a shift, you're seeing him skilled enough to lay down a bunt. We saw James Alvin. He's been working on that as of late. Now his next at bat, watch this. Okay, so he gets into a 3-2 count. You see that. He knows a fastball is coming, and he gets very aggressive on it, and he drives the ball to the gap. That's why he does very good at also driving the ball, because he gets himself into fastball counts, knows it's coming, and then knows what to do with it when he gets it. Now his next at bat, look, he's going to have 2 strikes on him. I believe it's going to be a 1-2 count, and watch his approach on his next bat as we see this double one more time from Alex Freeland. Yes, a 2-2 count, and actually, this is actually the base hit with a 3-2 count here. So one of the questions I get asked the most, and definitely the question I get asked the most about Alex Freeland, is what is the difference? What happened? Why the breakout this year? He's always had the top-end talent. We've told you that many different occasions. He's swung and missed too much in the past. Always had the power potential. He stole 31 bases last year. But this year, you're seeing it right here. Hey, he's bunting for base hits against a shift. He gets into a 3-2 count. He ambushes a fastball because he knows he's going to get a fastball in a 3-2 count. And then the next at bat, he gets down 2 strikes. He shortens up. He thinks contact, and he hits about a 8-hopper up the middle for a base hit that we're getting ready to see here in a minute. Right there. See there? I mean, he has a 2-strike count on him. He's just thinking, put the ball in play. He does that. He hits about a 6-hopper, and hey, those ground ball base hits count. So the approach is big time. The talent is big time, and it's all working together to create the season that we all knew that Alex Freeland was capable of, and he's going to be around 30 stolen bases again, and he's a very solid defender at third base, so nothing not to like about Alex Freeland. So really cool, I got to meet, let me back that up, really cool, I got to meet and talk to and interview Lucas Webb on Tuesday. Really excited to talk to him. Young man who's from Canada to Kansas, and he went from Kansas to ULM, the University. Nice catch there, Jose Ramos, that a boy. Went from Pratt College in Kansas to University of Louisiana Monroe, all the way to a undrafted free agent with the Dodgers to where he's at right now, which is really making a splash. Got to talk to him about his stuff, his slider, his fastball that you're seeing that has reached 98 miles an hour. And then a really cool conversation. Got to talk to him about a pitch that a lot of the Dodgers pitch, not a lot, but some of the Dodgers pitchers are throwing now called a splinker. You're going to see it here. There's that slider. But you're going to see the splinker here in a minute. Now, what is it? I asked him. You know, a lot of guys have a changeup and a sinker. They both move right. They both have those right turns to the arm side. So instead of throwing 2 different separate pitches, they combine the 2. The velo is the average between the 2. So instead of having a 95-mile-an-hour sinker and an 88-mile-an-hour slider, now you have a 92-mile-an-hour splinker that we're going to see. There's that 4-seam at the top of the zone that he ended the game with. And there's another 4-seam at the top. So you're throwing that 4-seam to the top of the zone. You're a big, tall, long drink of water. He gained about 20 pounds of great muscle weight in the offseason. Then you tumble that splinker pitch there. That's a great pitch. That's a great offering. And you can also tell how competitive Lucas Webb is and how much he loves the big moment. Moving up to now the AAA level, we talk about the merit system all the time. Love the fact that AlecGamboa has been moved back to a starter's role. We'll get back to the merit system thought here in a minute. He has a arsenal. If you look at his past, he's been dominant at times, and then it's like it's the exact opposite of dominance at times as well. And it's because sometimes this stuff floats in and out of the zone, and it takes him a minute to get into a rhythm. That's a nice little sweeping slider that, by the way, is approaching 90. Well, matter of fact, he touched 90 miles an hour with that slider last night. His velo is about 96 on the fastball. So because sometimes he floats in and out of the zone, at least he has in the past, it's been tough on him as a reliever because he's either on or off. As a starter, he has room to breathe and kind of the ability to work through those ebbs and flows, and I think that makes him a lot better, and he has the endurance. He's a just absolute world-class athlete, tough as possibly could be. Diehard Dodgers fan, grew up in Fresno, and actually got signed by the Dodgers by working out at Dodger Stadium. And so I really like the fact that AlecGamboa has been moved back to a starter role. He went 5 2/3 innings, got the party started last night to a shutout that was combined shutout between Nick Ramirez, Joe Kelly, and to end the game last night, J.P. Fireisen, a combined shutout for the Oklahoma City Dodgers. 5 2/3 innings for AlecGamboa, no runs, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, and a walk. 4-seam is 94-96. Spin touch 2,500. Exit velo was just 76 on the fastball, so it wasn't getting hit. Slider was in the zone right at 50% of the time, so he's throwing that 90-mile-an-hour slider for a strike, and the average exit velo on it was just 85. So, hey, the pitching staff for the Dodgers is in shambles. This is a guy, it would be a dream come true, and he's earned it. This is a situation, in my opinion, the Dodgers need to do right by AlecGamboa. KodyHoese, we're going to get ready to see. That's a nice swing there. We'll break that down here in a second. Kapow! Home run number 9. KodyHoese, this is as ready as KodyHoese has ever been. He's always been a great defender, even through the offensive struggles. He made it through the oblique. He made it through the broken foot. He's made it through ups and downs, and he is swinging the bat right now with authority and confidence. He will never be more ready than he is right now. Hey, you can say whatever you want to say about him being in the minor leagues and being AAA. I can't argue with any of that, but what I can tell you is watch this swing. See how we talked about being connected earlier. Watch how connected his back elbow and his hands are to his body here. And watch, see right here, he gets the barrel flat and then turns the barrel down to it. And look how connected he is there at the point of contact. I mean, that is just very, very, very connected. Another thing I want to show you is you don't actually extend to the ball. You actually hit through the ball and you extend after you hit the ball there. See how he's hitting through that ball there? Look how well he's hitting through that ball to extension after contact. That is a picture-perfect swing. That is a confident hitter in KodyHoese. That is a young man that has never been more ready to have a chance at the major leagues. I hope he gets his chance. Third base is in shambles. We have no idea what's going to happen with Max Muncy. It doesn't look good. Why not give a guy like this a chance and see what he can do? Wardo, man, I've been telling you about this guy for a long time. Dude can absolutely hit, man. I mean, hey, those ground balls, despite what they all say, Mookie Betts says, and Mookie Betts is 100% correct. Don't hit it on the ground. I don't disagree with any of that, but I promise you, all those ground ball hits, they don't give them back. They put them on their hit column, and they take every single one of them. And a matter of fact, I mean, statistics will tell you if you hit a ball 95 miles an hour over, doesn't matter where you hit it, it's going to be a hit. So here's what I want you to notice. This is heel strike right here. See how he's landed his back heel? Now look how much stretch he has created, even at heel strike. I mean, his hands have not moved. Matter of fact, as he strikes his heel, when I say strikes his heel, I mean watch his back heel touch the ground there. As he does that, his hands are still going backwards and creating stretch. So that is a pretty wound up rubber band that he creates in terms of torque, which is why even though, see how he's on the back, he's starting to swing up. He's starting to swing up at the back of the zone, which is why he's getting the ball in the air a lot, and he leads the PCL in home runs. But it's also why he hits over the ball sometimes and hits those rollover ground balls. But because he's created so much torque and so much power, his head stays still. That's why he hits the ball as much as he does. Because he's created that torque and that rubber band effect, his ground balls are hit very hard. And like you saw in that one there, they end up as base hits. And then his fly balls, because he creates that torque, have this amount of carry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is RyanWard, Wardo. This is a legitimate 1,000% major league hitter. The Dodgers need hitters. There is no reason not to give a guy like RyanWard some runway to see if he can do at the major league level what he has always done his entire life, save some stretches last year that weren't as great as he's used to, and see if he can spark something. I mean, he leads the PCL in home runs. He's hitting close to 300. This guy is a really good hitter. He can play left field. He can play right field. He can play first base, whatever. I mean, he has enough positional versatility to figure out how to get him on the roster. RyanWard definitely, right now as we speak, has a major league hit tool.